Recording.
Hi, my name is Sergeant Brzezinski, and today we are doing our problem-solving presentation. It is called Saving Air Force One, and here is our overview. The overview consists of the overview, the background, stated problem, problem framing, problem statement and type of problem, the root cause analysis and solutions, decision matrix tool, solution, and finally, the brainstorming techniques. Here's the background.
So we'll be talking about the 816th Security Forces Squadron, which is comprised of 400 personnel. Within that squadron, there's 3 different flights: day shift, swing shift, and mid shift. They all work together to protect Air Force One and other protection level 1 assets. There are currently 4 different types of training needed for members to maintain their ability to arm. Slide. Our problem statement is the 816 Squadron must complete 4 different elements of training by 1 September 2020. Firing, less than lethal, use of force, DD Form 2760, along with the commander's sit-down. These requirements must be met so that the defenders may continue to arm up and perform security duties for Air Force One and other protection level 1 assets.
And of course, when solving our problems, we started with problem framing to figure out what we needed to do. So as you can see, problem frame 1, commander is requiring recertification training to be completed within 30 days. Number 2 was due to COVID, Security Forces manning has been stretched thin to support protection of Air Force One. 3 was due to protection level of these assets. Only certain individuals can be certified to protect the assets. Problem frame 4, the Yankee White type of clearance process it takes additional personnel that have been placed on hold due to COVID-19. Frame 5, in order to be backfilled by members with the proper security clearance, the member is still required to go through 4 to 6 weeks of training to be certified on each position. Member certifications are only good for 1 year.
The problem statement and type of problem is the decrease in manning, 30-day CC requirement, and certification expiration does not provide adequate time, resource of manning to complete the training was selected. This type of problem is a complicated problem where we have the knowns and we also have the unknowns. So we know the manning and the time frame required to meet the training is there. We just don't know how to manage manning, time, certifications provided to meet the deadline and maintain proper security protocols for the assets. We also don't know how COVID-19 and its lethality will affect the unit and dwindle manning to then provide us with no manning at all. So we can sense there is an issue and have analyzed the data required to meet the end goal.
So we went through our root cause analysis, beginning with the shift schedules. We're currently working 4 days on with 3 days off at 8-hour shifts. That's an internal problem with the people. The deadline, the policy was set internally by the commander, which he has control over. The certification expiration, which is an internal problem with our policy. Augmentees is an external problem without them being able to get the clearances. And the people, improvement certification and clearance processes timeline so other sections can be backfilled is also another external problem with procedure. COVID pandemic effects is an external problem which is caused by the environment. Training is an external problem caused by resources. Number of personnel required to be trained within 30 days is an internal problem caused by the measurement and control. So we went through our solutions and came up with the most logical aspects. We'll go over how we went through each. But our final decision came down to number one, to change from an 8-hour shift for the 8-hour shift 4 on 3 off to 12-hour shifts, with separating the swing shift into day shift and mid shift, along with the request extension on the deadline by at least 2 to 4 weeks. Now, if we ended up getting into a negotiation process with our leadership, we would have a BATNA of only having essential personnel trained within that 30-day time frame. And on top of that, we would have the nibble of an extension on certification, grandfathering others into grandfathering others in that were set to expire. Slide.
And to help us achieve our solutions, we used Decision Matrix tool. And as you can see, each of our solutions is listed on the left and add the factors, ability, capability, and impact. And we simply just gave them markings 1 through 5 and added them up, with 5 being the highest and 1 being the low, 0 being the lowest, and just simply took our totals from each solution. And as you can see, solutions 1 and 2 received the highest scores. And so from there, we decided that we would implement the number 1, and the number 2 could also be our slide. So the logical solution using the matrix, manning swings can divide among 2 shifts, generate a schedule that would meet the commander's new adjusted 6 weeks deadline. The commander would also to provide us with our nibble, as Sergeant started talking about, could also account for additional bodies that would be authorized extension to perform mission essential duties. And also, as Sergeant started talking about, we also had a best alternative negotiation, the BATNA, to only have mission essential personnel trained within the so.
So here we have the brainstorming techniques that were really used. We have the unstructured approach, where in this, we kind of just started spewing out certain details and trying to just get them on the board so we can then pick from there and really go into a problem. Also, we went the structured approach, and we also did the fishbone diagram, where we really put everything in its applicable spot, and with the manning, the resources, and all the machines, we went that structured approach. Also with the decision matrix tool, and just figuring out that final solution.
So working together really helped us placate off of each other's strong suits. For example, Tech Sergeant Prusinski was able to use his creativity, coming together, of course, with this wonderful PowerPoint, as always. And he was very innovative in his thinking, whereas I was set on one way of thinking, and he was able to bring in that outside perspective and really show me that there are other ways that we can use manning and resources to assist us with getting to our end goal.
And Sergeant Ernest, that benefited our group with problem-solving process with her expert skills in the scenario, since it was her work center. She was able to provide key information to itself, as well as firsthand knowledge of possible solutions presented. She was comfortable suggesting the new ways to solve the problem, as well as challenging leadership's positions. This greatly benefited our collaborative efforts.
Also, Sergeant Whitney utilized System 2 thinking. While hesitant with this topic at first, He was able to solicit the facts and details from the scenario to help with planning and comprehensive assessment of the topic. The systematic approach helped everyone kind of stay on task and focus, and just bettered us to make important decisions.
And all of us worked together using our ECAT strengths, which was collaboration skills for the majority. And we worked seamlessly as a team to avoid conflict. We successfully used negotiation skills in the design of our solutions to create a win-win solution for the complicated scenario. And in conclusion, we awesomely collaborated our gangster skills to become Zoomy geniuses in the face of tremendous opposition. We fought hard in the NCOA battle. We won war on PME so that the world's greatest Air Force can continue to aim high, fly,
Fight,
fight,
and
win.
win.